everybody. Brenna here from Mad as Brent. And on today's episode, we're going to be covering good luck. If you tuned in last week, then you already know. All right. So for our first good luck, I don't know what you'd call it, topic. Our first good luck topic we're going to discuss is the 4-leaf clover. Everybody knows that a 4-leaf clover is good luck. There was nothing better than, as a kid, going out in your backyard and digging around in all the dirt in the grass and be like, I found a 4-leaf clover. But why is it seen as lucky in the first place? Well, 4-leaf clovers are a variation of the much-known 3-leaf white clover, Trifolium repens. There are researchers from the University of Georgia that believe a 4-leaf clover is formed by a combination of the environment that they grow in and of their genes that make this extra sprouted leaf possible. They say that the probability of finding one is between 1 in 5,000 to 1 in 10,000. But I don't exactly know if I believe that, because sometimes on any given day, if I'm feeling really lucky, I can find like 4 or 5 in the same patch. So I don't know about that. So the origin of 4-leaf clovers, or the luck that stems from within them, comes from Celtic or Druid priests. These priests believed so strongly in the good luck of 4-leaf clovers that they thought that they could ward off evil spirits. Fun fact, the term luck of the Irish comes from the 4-leaf clover growing so abundantly in Ireland. So let's dive into some historical symbolism, because we all love historical symbolism. I know I do. Early Ireland, Druids supposedly kept shamrocks at their sides to identify evil spirits who were going to cross their paths, so they could identify them and then get away from them in time. That's one way to use them. Later on in time, the shamrock became the symbol of St. Patrick. To avoid confusion, the shamrock is not a 4-leaf clover. There is a difference. It's a 3-leaf clover. Same plant, different variation. Next up on our list of good luck, it's freaking bats. I bet you didn't expect bats to be on the good luck list, did you? I didn't either when I first started writing. I didn't expect them to be on this list either. But you learn something new every day. Did you know that bats are natural pollinators? They eat bugs too, which is good, unless you're a bug. And while bats sometimes might make Americans think of Halloween and spooky season, that is not the case in other areas of the world. In Chinese culture, bats are a representation of happiness and joy. 5 bats together represent the 5 blessings, which is life, health, wealth, love of virtue, and a peaceful death, which is all you can really ask for in life. There is a homophone for bat, fu, that means good fortune. They can symbolize death, but death is accompanied by rebirth. So if you ever see a bat flying around in circles outside your house, have no fear. It is good luck. But what does that mean whenever my cats bring a bat into the house? That can't be good luck for me or for the bat. Bats are a symbol of protection and safety, or that maybe you need some changes in your life. They are also a representation of strong communication and adaptability. They tell you to trust your perceptions and your insights. In Native American culture, some tribes view bats as symbols of intuition, insight, and spiritual communication. They are thought to have spiritual powers and are associated with shamans and healers. In Mayan civilizations, they associated bats with the rain god and fertility. They were protectors against evil spirits and brought good luck. That makes me feel bad for the reputation that bats have in America. They make you think of like scary season and rabies, where in reality, at least in Kentucky, statistically speaking, less than 1% of bats carry rabies. But then you got skunks, and that's where the big issue is, because around 20% of skunks carry rabies. But you don't hear about, like when you think of bats, you think of rabies. When you think of skunks, you think of smelling bad. You don't think about rabies, which I think is unfair. We should be mean to skunks. We shouldn't. We shouldn't be mean to skunks, but we shouldn't also be mean to bats. Not all bats carry rabies. This is going to be a short episode, and for that, I'm sorry, and that's my bad. Because who didn't research enough? This girl. But next up on our list is frogs. And I love frogs, and I know you love frogs. So let's hop into it. Let's hop into the next subject. Frogs remind me of my granny. And when my mom was younger, when she was still in diapers, she'd walk around the yard and granny would find her with like a diaper full of frogs. She'd just walk around, find a frog, pop it in her diaper. Lots of frogs. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you guys that. But maybe that was a good thing because maybe my mom was, instead of being full of shit, she was full of good luck. Get it? See what I did there? Good luck with frogs is associated with money, health, career, overall well being, and good relationships. They are mostly known for their prosperity and fortune. So, if you're feeling froggy, let's look at some superstitions. And when I say superstition, my mind automatically goes to bad luck superstitions. But this is an episode about good luck. We're getting rid of all the bad juju from the last episode. So this is good luck superstitions about frogs. If a frog comes into your house, that is a sign of good luck. I don't think I've ever found a frog in my house, which now I'm kind of sad about it. Maybe I'll find a frog in my house this summer. If you find a frog with thin skin, that could be a sign of good weather. How do you know if it has thin skin in comparison to thick skin? How can you tell? Other than skinning a frog, I don't want to do that unless I'm going to eat it, and I don't eat frogs. So, not just nothing bad against people who do eat frogs. I have went frog gigging. It's just I love them. I don't want to eat them. I love them. If you see a frog with dull skin or find a frog that's croaking, that means that rain is on the way, which I guess makes sense because frogs need moisture in their skin from like a biological standpoint. That's how they survive, is that they have to have moisture in their skin. So if his skin's looking a little dull, well, that doesn't mean that rain's coming. It means that he needs rain. But these are superstitions. This is not science. This episode is not a science episode. It's a good luck episode. So yeah, if you see a frog with dull skin or one that's like, that's not a croak. You know what a croak is. If you see a frog that's croaking, that means that you're probably about to get rain. And I also read some stuff about frog amulets, I guess like jewelry, frog jewelry. If you're wearing a frog amulet, it can protect you while traveling. So if you're about to go on a trip, get you a nice frog amulet or a Saint Christopher necklace because he also protects you while traveling. And if you put a frog amulet in your wallet, then not only does it protect your money, but it gives money back to you. It's like a circle. The flow of money. The flow of money, it'll come back to you. So, frog amulet. Traveling, frog amulet in your wallet. I also saw another thing about frog amulets that say a frog amulet worn by a dead person will promote the rebirth of their soul. I don't know what that means, really. I don't know. You all are just going to have to think on that one because I don't know what it means. Frogs are also depicted in stories throughout history. In Western culture, we all know about the frog prince. You got to kiss a few frogs before you find your prince. I should cut that out. It looks like I'm filter feeding. It doesn't look like I'm trying to kiss a frog. Ooh, I want to show you guys something. This was from my granny and pa's house. Doesn't it sound like croaking? Can you guys hear it? That's nice, ain't it? That's nice. Get you one. If you're ever out antiquing or something and you see one of these bad boys, get you one because they're pretty cool. Oh, and I have a tattoo of a frog. That's what you're supposed to be looking at. Anyways, moving on. You know, most people have to pay for an armpit shot. You all got one for free. You're welcome. Oh, yeah. The whole point of me mentioning the frog prince, the moral of the story is like a princess kisses a frog and then it turns into a prince. So do not judge a book by its cover, is what that's supposed to represent, I think. In Aztec and Mayan cultures, there was Teclatecutli. Teclatecutli. I don't know how to say that. I don't have the slightest clue. But it is described as a frog deity that was hungry and had extra mouths on her elbows and her knees. So her body supported the earth's plant life, rivers, and mountains. And then there was also another word that I can't pronounce. Chalchihutiliku. I'm going to put it in the screen here. This was a Mesoamerican goddess that has associations with frogs and toads. This goddess ruled over lakes, rivers, streams, and storms. She was the goddess of fertility and of childbirth. There is the golden frog. This mythology came from... Why is there so much stuff that I can't pronounce? I write my own scripts. I do. I just can't remember pronunciations for the life of me. So this mythology came from Adelopus ziteki and was believed by the Kuna people. It was a symbol of good luck in the wild, and when it died, it said that it would turn into a golden talisman. In Bolivian culture, the Amara people believed that frogs could call down the rain. So they were praised when the land received sufficient rainfall, and then they were blamed whenever drier seasons came and there was no rain. Poor guys. Poor little frogs. In Egyptian culture, Ogdoad of Hermopolis was a group of gods where the males had frog heads and human bodies. These gods were thought to bring balance and order to the world. Heket was a fertility goddess with a frog head and a human body, and she was said to protect women during childbirth. In Australian culture, there is Tiddalik. This is a tale about a giant frog who drank all of the water in the land. So then along comes this wise owl and an eel, and they made the frog laugh, which released all the water again, showing us that there are peaceful problem-solving methods rather than violent ones. I really like that. That's a good tale. I like that a lot. Next up, we have Chinese culture Jin Chan. This is a three-legged frog who is the companion of a Taoist monk who is named Hai Chan. Supposedly, the frog came out during the full moons, and if the frog appeared at your home or at a business, good luck will follow. Also, a little fun add-on, some people think that frogs have the sun sign of Pisces, which I am a Pisces, and I just feel like it fits. I don't know why. I feel like it fits. It makes sense. And I know this isn't exactly related to the episode per se, but I wanted to dive into some frog astrology because I didn't know that was a thing before researching this episode. And why not? You know, why not dive into frog astrology? So Aries, which is normally seen as the symbol of a ram, is the strawberry poison dart frog. That adds up. That adds up. Taurus, which is normally a bull symbol, is the green frog. Gemini, the twins, is seen as a moor frog. Cancer, the crab, is a red-eyed tree frog. Leo, the lion, is the American bullfrog. Virgo, which is the virgin, is spring peepers. I love me some spring peepers. That is in the summertime or springtime right now, whatever weather this is. I like to leave my windows down. That way I can hear the spring peepers in the creek outside my window at night. Love it. Music to my ears. Libra, which is the scales of balance, is the American tree frog. Scorpio, the scorpion, is the golden poison dart frog, which again, hate to say it makes sense. Sagittarius, which is normally the symbol of an archer, is the wood frog. Capricorn, the sea goat, is the Darwin frog. Aquarius, the water bearer, is the glass frog. These ones are cool, but they kind of creep me out. And last but not least, Pisces, the fish, is the African dwarf frog, which I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I did have an African dwarf frog as a pet in an aquarium, and it lived a very long time. Maybe that's why. Probably not. May he rest in peace. So you can find all of this information and more information on the handy dandy website, toadsandfrogs.com. That's where I got all of that from. The last thing we're going to cover is coins. And I know I told you this was a short episode. It's shorter than I thought it was going to be. But we're just letting it happen. We're riding this wave and we're just going to see where it takes us. And it's going to take us to coins because that's last on the list. Find a penny, pick it up all day long, you'll have good luck. If you find a penny on heads, you pick it up. You put it in your pocket. Maybe you put it in your shoe. Sometimes I do. Do you? If you have a jar of pennies in your kitchen, that is said to bring good luck. And I don't have a jar of pennies in my kitchen, but I have a big glass change jar of just pennies. It's kind of in my kitchen. It's in my dining room. I'm not feeling very lucky though, but I also feel like luck comes, like you have to tell yourself you're lucky in order to be lucky. So I feel like that's where my trouble comes in a little bit. Leap year coins apparently bring good fortune. Didn't know that. Also, I didn't know this one, but I think I am going to start doing it. Carrying a coin minted in your birth year is a sign of good luck. So I need to find a coin that was made in 1996. If any of you find one, send it to me. I will not pay you. I'm sorry. If you get change back on a Monday, it's good luck for the whole week if you find a penny in the mix of change. Also, if you carry a coin in your clothes, that too is good luck wherever you go. And I'm sure most of us have heard that if you find a penny on heads and you pick it up, that's good luck for the day. But if you see one on tails, then you should just leave it be. Sometimes I will flip them over on heads and leave them for other people. I wonder if that's bad luck towards me. I found a list of lucky coins while researching, and I am going to share that list with you all. Leap year Mercury dime. This is in the United States. The lucky silver dimes are made from 1916 to 1945, not just on a leap year. These are lucky because they are made of 90% silver and 10% copper. They're called Mercury because the picture on them resembles the Roman god named Mercury. However, it's actually the head of liberty with wings to represent freedom of thought. Next is silver sixpence, which is found in Britain. The sixpence was in circulation from 1551 until 1980. It is the perfect wedding coin. The father of the bride can give her a sixpence, which she should place in her shoe for a prosperous marriage. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a sixpence for her shoe. I'd never heard that version before, but now I have, and so have you. Look at me, I'm a rhyming queen. So the 5 yen in Japan is also a lucky coin. Feng Shui coins in China are lucky. These coins attract wealth and success. They are round and they have a hole in the middle in the shape of a square. The round part represents the heavens, while the square is a symbol of the 4 corners of the earth. 3 of these coins tied together represent the heavens, the earth, and mankind. And another one for the United States is the silver dollar is said to be lucky. Coins that have holes in them are apparently very lucky. There is an old English superstition that says if you carry a coin with a hole in your purse, pocket, wallet, etc., that you'll never be without money. But if there is a new moon, use caution and take that coin with the hole out of your pocket, purse, etc. You have to hold it in your hand and spit on it for good luck before returning it back to your pocket. Makes sense. Bent coins are good luck, along with any that are damaged or crooked. If you have a bent coin, you can give it to someone you care about deeply for good luck. You are never supposed to leave your house with an empty wallet. You are never supposed to leave your house with an empty wallet. At least have a coin in it, the very least. Keep a penny in your wallet and in your pocket for good luck, because why not? Even if you're not superstitious, you can be a little stitious and don't risk it, because why? If you notice it's a new moon, don't forget to move the coins in your pocket around. Everyone should also carry a pocket piece coin. This coin is special. Whether it's only special to you or it's ancient or rare, doesn't matter. It could just have a lucky symbol on it, whatever floats your boat. When you carry it in your pocket and you put your hand in your pocket, it should give you a sense of security and lead you on the right path. You must never spend this coin. Never. Never. Fun fact, President Theodore Roosevelt kept a pocket piece. He kept an ancient Greek coin with a symbol of an owl on it that was almost 2,500 years old. I would like to touch that coin. Where is that coin now? I would like to touch that coin. It's also good luck if you find a coin during a storm, because they could have fallen from heaven and fallen to give you good luck. All for you. Pennies from heaven. Shooby dooby. So before we end this episode, we're going to go over popular known good luck charms. We're going to do a speed round with very little explanation. Because I said so. First up, turtles are a symbol of protection. I could see that with turtles because I feel like turtles have ancient wisdom. That's why they live so long. They're smart and they're just full of wisdom. The horseshoe is a very common symbol of protection. I have a horseshoe nailed to my wall in my entryway downstairs. Next is the cat's eye stone. It represents protection and wealth. I love a good cat's eye stone. I have a worry stone that is cat's eye. Next is dolphins. They were always my favorite animal growing up, and they are known for protection. I wonder if that means something, or if it's because I'm a Pisces. I don't know. Pigs are related to wealth. Ladders are related to ascension. Makes sense. St. Christopher, which we talked about earlier, is for safe travels. I need another St. Christopher necklace. Mine broke. I never took mine off, like, ever. And then it broke. So, what does that mean? If you have amber, like the mineral, that is for overall wellness. I have a lot of amber, and it glows under a black light. So if you think that you have natural amber, put it under a black light to test it, and it's just fun to see it light up. Also, the number 7, lucky number 7, is for the purpose of protection. All right, thank you guys for listening. Sorry that this is a bit of a shorter episode. The next episode's going to be good. I don't know what it's going to be. Put in requests if you want. If you're feeling froggy, put in some requests. Like, subscribe, leave comments if you want to be nice to me. Not mean comments. I can handle it, but why should I have to? You know, why should I have to? Anyways, thank you all for listening. Keep it cool. I don't know what Brenna out.